Quick question before we even say hello. When's the last time Congress actually voted to send Americans into a shooting war?
Take your time.
Because right now, Fortune's got a naval historian calling what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz an undeclared naval war. No vote, no declaration, just missiles and oil prices jumping every time one lands.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there it is. All right, hello, I'm Max.
And I'm Blake.
This is The Common Thread.
Today, we're looking at one pattern across three fronts: Iran, Congress, and Taiwan.
First, how a June ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran fell apart in 6 days and what that's doing to shipping traffic through Hormuz.
Then we walk the actual war powers resolution timeline, the notification, the deadline, the letter the administration says restarts the clock.
Wait, restarts it?
We'll get into that.
Fair enough. We'll also do the math on what all this means at the gas pump.
Assuming the refinery cushion holds.
And later, while everyone's watching the Gulf, there's a Chinese naval buildup near Taiwan nobody's talking about.
We'll ask what happens when the checks on executive power just don't check.
Heavy episode.
Good one, though.
So, 6 days in the Gulf, 0 votes in Congress. Here's how it happened. Six straight days of the U.S. and Iran trading strikes, and nobody in Washington's calling this what it actually is.
What is it?
A naval war. Undeclared, but real. Bloomberg's tracking day 6 of these counterattacks as of July 17th, and CENTCOM says it's hit over 300 targets inside Iran since the weekend.
300 targets, 0 declarations of war.
One single night reportedly hit 140 targets.
Wow. And you feel that at the pump.
You do. Brent crude jumped more than 4%, pushing towards $78 a barrel right after Iran struck a Cyprus-flagged container ship transiting the Strait of Hormuz.
Walk me through the sequence, though. Back in June, there was a signed memorandum of understanding, a ceasefire.
Right, the April ceasefire. Then Trump told reporters at the NATO summit it was over, called Iranian officials scum. That's ABC News' timeline of it.
A blow-up at a summit ends a negotiated deal that fast?
That's the timeline. Iran hit commercial vessels, the U.S. hit back twice more, and Fortune's reporting Strait of Hormuz traffic has collapsed to a handful of ships a day now. A handful. Ships going dark, turning off their transponders so they don't become targets. That's from Fortune's own reporting out of the street.
There's a naval historian quoted in that piece.
Sal Mergoliano. He called this an undeclared naval war and said that kind of war can escalate.
That's the line that should worry people.
So here's my question. None of this got a congressional vote. How is any of it legal?
So rewind 6 weeks before any of this. February 28th, Trump notifies Congress an operation against Iran has started. Day 1 of the war powers clock.
60 days, ticking towards May 1st.
May 1st exactly. And when that date hit, the administration didn't ask Congress for anything. They said the clock had already stopped.
Wait, stopped? How do you stop a countdown that's already running?
Their argument, the April 7th ceasefire terminated hostilities. No hostilities, no clock. Defense Secretary Hegseth said exactly that to Senator Tim Kaine in committee. The 60-day clock pauses or stops during a pause in fighting.
And Kaine just accepted that?
No. Kaine told him on the record he didn't believe the statute supports it.
So the guy running the Pentagon and the guy enforcing the law don't even agree what the words mean?
And it gets messier. Iran allegedly violates the Islamabad Memorandum in early July, the ceasefire deal signed back in June.
Wait, we're already past ceasefire number 2?
We are. July 10th, Trump sends Congress a brand new letter. New hostilities, new 60-day clock, starting from 0.
Without a vote?
Without a vote.
Okay, here's my actual question. Congress wrote this law in '73, so presidents couldn't do exactly this. Why does it keep working?
Because the statute has no enforcement mechanism beyond Congress cutting funding, and courts wave it off as a political question, not a legal one.
So it's a deadline with 0 teeth.
Bruce Fein, constitutional lawyer, former Associate Deputy Attorney General, told Al Jazeera this reading turns the resolution into simply a paper tiger.
Paper tiger. Yeah, that tracks.
Fine brought up Vietnam, too. No formal declaration then either, because Nixon knew he'd lose the vote. His read is Trump knows the same thing.
Because they don't think it would pass.
That's the read.
Which loops right into what Congress actually did with all this. Or, more accurately, didn't.
There was a vote. It just didn't do what you'd hope.
So Congress actually did something this week. Anybody catch it?
The Senate resolution? Barely.
Right. NBC covered it, but mostly as a horse race count. Who flipped, who's up for re-election.
What the vote actually do, though?
The question nobody asked. It's a concurrent resolution directing troop withdrawal. Bipartisan, which is rare.
But concurrent means it never lands on Trump's desk.
0 teeth. No signature required, no veto to override, nothing binding.
So the cameras were on a vote that changes nothing legally.
Cable loves the scoreboard. Nobody wants to explain a statute. Where'd the GOP break stand?
Susan Collins and Tom Tillis both said publicly
They're uneasy with this running past 60 days.
and
then nothing. No follow-up bill, no leadership push, discomfort with no consequence.
That's the part I keep circling. You can vote your conscience and still change nothing if leadership won't move it.
Which is kind of the whole design flaw here, isn't it?
Walk me through the legal read, because I don't think the vote is even the real story.
Go on.
Jurists ran a commentary this week arguing something specific. No administration, either party, has ever claimed a ceasefire pauses the war powers clock before.
Not Bush, not Obama, not Biden. Wait, that's a brand new legal theory?
That's the argument. It's untested. Nobody's litigated it. Nobody's codified it.
So the administration invented a reading of the statute, and the press spent its airtime on a non-binding vote count instead of asking whether that reading holds up.
Which means the actual fight, is this legal, never got covered at all.
And that's how you sidestep a deadline without anyone outside D.C. noticing.
The vote happened, the theory's still standing, nothing's changed.
Except the price of the pump, apparently.
Yeah, let's go there next.
So let's talk what this actually cost you at the pump.
Please, my truck already hates me. Brent crude was near $71 a barrel a week ago. Al Jazeera has it climbing to nearly $79.
That's not a small jump.
Some energy analysts are floating a run toward $90 if the Strait stays this disrupted.
90. That's real money at the pump for regular people.
Could be, depending on where you live.
So why hasn't it hit us harder already? Feels calmer than it should.
Refiners locked in supply weeks ago. That's the cushion. It's contractual, not permanent.
So the bill's coming, just delayed.
Right. The longer this standoff drags on, the thinner that cushion gets.
Give me the number that actually stopped me.
The ships. Since early May, U.S. forces have escorted more than 800 commercial vessels through Hormuz. Wikipedia's tracking of the crisis puts the oil move to close to 400 million barrels.
Wow.
400 million barrels through one strip of water, one choke point. The whole global energy system leaning on one hallway.
And every ship going dark out there, no transponder? That's a guy at a gas station in 6 weeks.
Which is exactly why the White House is watching the calendar. Midterms. November. Nobody wants gas prices spiking in October.
So there's a political clock running parallel to the military one.
Both racing the same deadline, different stakes.
And while everybody's staring at the Gulf,
Something's moving on the other side of the world nobody's watching.
let's go there.
Well, shifting gears, while the Gulf eats every headline, look what's stacking up near Taiwan.
What's stacking up?
Taiwan's National Security Council flagged a record this month. Over 110 PLA and Coast Guard vessels sitting along the first island chain, right now.
110 is basically a standing wall.
Council Chief Joseph Wu calls it the new normal. Ships parked 70 to 120 miles off Taiwan's coast, week after week.
Okay, but give me the number that separates real opportunism from Beijing's usual summer drills. July's always their busy season.
Fair test. Try July 6th. A Chinese submarine fired a ballistic missile into the South Pacific. CNN covered it. The range puts the U.S. mainland in reach from that platform for the first time.
Interesting timing. A second strike demonstration while every American ship and headline sits stuck in Hormuz.
Well, there's more. Reports this month say Chinese vessels have been paying Iran discounted fees for safe passage through the strait.
So Beijing gets cheaper oil and a front-row seat to a war it never fights.
That's the shape of it, though the picture's still developing. And here's a twist. East Asia Forum's analysis this week argues Xi's own military purge is pushing his Taiwan timetable back, slower than anyone expected.
So the purge buys Washington time.
Right, which is why their read says the real near-term danger, way before any invasion talk, is coercion under cover of distraction.
Testing the seams while nobody's looking up.
Coast Guard boats radioing container ships for crew manifests, no shots, no headline, but the sovereignty claim gets a little more real every week.
Man, we're doing gas station math. Beijing's playing a much longer game.
And there's no Senate hearing scheduled for that one either.
Which might be the very thread tying this whole night together.
But zooming out from Taiwan for a second, there's one thread running under all three stories. Executive power grows exactly when checks meant to stop it don't fire in time.
Congress didn't vote on anything binding. The press buried the legal question, and deterrence in the Pacific just didn't hold anyone back.
Right, 3 different failure modes, same result. Now, where we agree, protecting tankers through Hormuz, correct call. Nobody's arguing commercial shipping should get shelled.
Agreed. But protecting shipping and skipping Congress are 2 separate decisions. And this White House, like the ones before it since Vietnam, never sent up an actual authorization request. Just notifications, letters, no vote that could fail.
Which is the whole game, isn't it? Ask permission and you might get told no.
That's not a Trump problem specifically. Every administration back to the 70s has dodged this same vote.
So here's something you can actually do this week. Call your senator's office, not a form email, an actual call, and ask one direct question. Will you force a binding war powers resolution vote?
And before you trust anyone's summary of what that law says, including ours, read the 1973 statute yourself. It's short, 60-day clock, 15 sections.
It's public. It's on congress.gov. 20 minutes tops.
20 minutes to know more than most of the people voting on it.
Low bar, but let's clear it. So that's the week. Iran, Congress, the Pacific.
The line that stuck with me, Hexa telling the committee the 60-day clock paused.
And Kane just wasn't having it.
Look, here's what matters. When Congress stays quiet, the executive branch fills that silence every single time.
That's not partisan. That's just what happens when a check goes unused.
Right. So here's the ask this week.
Call your senator's office. Ask where they stand on the War Powers Resolution vote.
And then go read the actual statute yourself. It's from 1973, short, maybe 15 minutes.
Don't take our word or Hegseth's or Kane's. Read the text.
If this helped you see the week clear, share it with someone who needs it.
And subscribe. We're back Saturday.
Thanks for spending an hour with us.
Go make that call.